Hello everyone and welcome back. The first thing you more than likely notice is I'm a tad naked, and it's not because I died, it's because we had what I'm going to qualify as a catastrophic failure for the Minecraft server. After upgrading from 131 to 141 for Infinity, we ran into some issues, and unfortunately the only way to resolve them would have been to roll the world back pre-131 upgrade, and that would have lost a significant amount of work. So rather than doing that, we opted to just reset the world and start over again. On the plus side, we came up with a decent location here, which is kind of nice. Get off the sand here. Oh, I feel so slow without my boots. And we're going to grab some of these to start with. Yeah, everything feels so... Poison ivy. Great. Alright, so while we're walking, we're going to grab some white. There they are. So the spawn starts right next to one of these. Luckily, it's not inhabited, or that kind of would have been bad. So what we're doing is grabbing some of these flowers on the way over, because I think I'm going to start with a little bit of Botania soon, because it has some nice start-out materials in the axes and the rings and stuff like that, or the tools. And there's more poison ivy. To watch a little more carefully for that. And where I'm going is there is a village right over there. Going to be eaten by creepers. And that's going to be our kind of our home base. That's what I'm aiming for right now, is to get there and get in there. And we've decided that that's where we're going to start building. And how are there no yellow flowers around here? Plenty of white ones, which is good, so we can get our pure daisies. We can't do day blooms without white or yellow flowers. So I've got orange, and I've got light blue. If I remember right, that's what it takes. And I don't see... Ooh, berry bushes. Those will be useful. Berries are pretty much a horrible food, but they grow really nice and easy. Grab those, get these, and more yellow flowers, but not the right kind of yellow flower. Need that. That's junk. That's junk. Alright. Now, I did do a little bit of scouting when determining which seed we were going to use here. This is just a random one chosen by the server when I left it blank, and it ended up being fairly good, so we're going to go with it. I thought so. Gotta love it when part of the world doesn't gen. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, now we have chunks again. So it'll be a good thing I didn't walk in there to fill in a hole. Alright. Ooh, more berry bushes. Get some variety in our diet here. Ooh, what are those? Biomes of plenty berry bushes. Haven't seen those before. I haven't done a lot of exploring since the 141 upgrade initially, and I'm running into things I guess just haven't seen before because of that. Because a lot of our chunks were already generated around our initial base in the last server, so we didn't really get to see them as we upgraded. So we're going to come over here. Unfortunately, you can't harvest these unless you have shears. There should be a gate around here somewhere, probably under this dirt. Yeah, I think that's where it's at, actually. So one of the first things we need to do in here, aside from getting our stuff, is we need to light this place up and get the gates sealed. So that's kind of what I'm going to start working on. I need to get some charcoal, some torches, basic tools like your stone tools, and just to kind of get it going, because I want to get this place lit up so I don't have to rely on the guards to keep it safe. And then once I get some basic tools set up and kind of get that back, or get that going, that's when I'll come back. But I'm going to get started on that, and I'll be back. Alright, we're into the first night, and looking around, the guards aren't that bright when it comes to fighting creepers. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of making the basics of a tool so I can kind of get started, I spent a decent amount of time digging around this place to see if there was anything interesting here. What I came across was that we do have, where is it? Right here, there's a smeltery. It's the only drawback to it, like normal, it doesn't have a controller or a tank, so it'll have to be upgraded, but it is a 2-deep smeltery, which by itself is a nice bonus. This place is huge. I'm standing right now in a library, at least I'm guessing it's a library, and one of the neat things is we found the observations of an immortal and 4 of the torn pages. So that'll let us get started on that, because that's kind of one of the goals. I want to get vampirism back. I think it'll be significantly more useful. It'll probably be as much of a hindrance right now as anything. But to do that, I'm going to need to get up to probably diamond gear and a decent rapier based on what we had last time. Otherwise, I expect to get basically mulched as soon as I run into her. So I kind of want to avoid that. So we're going to make ourselves need some sticks. Make some sticks, make an axe, and then since it's night out, I might as well attempt to do something. The town generation is a little weird. See? I'm going to get eaten by something. Alright, so I'm going to try and get some cobblestone real quick. Get a furnace, get some charcoal, hopefully survive the night. Check out the rest of the village, and then see if I can get a basic, just a shallow mine going to get some materials, and then we'll see where we're at. I'll be back. Pop back in here really quick. Just a quick tip for anybody who didn't know, you can burn your wooden tools, which is what I'm doing right now as a kind of a jump into the charcoal as I'm burning. I burned all 3 of my wooden tools to kind of get going on it so I can get a little more wood out of this. And then without having to waste anything, you could burn the saplings too, but I kind of want to replant those around here to make sure I can keep the wood supply going. Alright, back to surviving the night. And we're back in the second night. So going through some of the village houses, I found whatever these wading boots are. I'm guessing something with water. A steel chest plate, which has worked out pretty good. Had to kill a few zombies already. I've got we're just going to say kind of immediate area around the church lit up, because what I ended up settling on was this church here for a base. And what I want to do is kind of start sectioning this town off. So what I'm probably going to do next during the day is seal off that gate, maybe put a door in it, and then maybe start putting some partition fences in here. The problem with this village is it looks like it was built on a hill or a kind of a rolling landscape. So you can see it. I mean, it's fairly level here, then it gets a little weird, and then it gets a little crazy. A lot of the houses are 2 blocks off the ground, so the villagers in there are kind of stuck. Need to check out that guard tower. That was the library I was hiding in the first night. And just kind of, I want to see if I can secure this area of town since it has the smeltery. Eventually, what I may do instead is just rip that down and move it. But it's going to take me a while to torch this entire town, and I want to save as much as I can for the villagers, because if I keep these villagers here, I'll get iron golems, I'll get village guards, and I kind of have a built-in guard force when I start here. And then once Newt starts, we'll be able to start kind of moving around a little more. But also right over there is a desert temple that I have to kind of scope out, see if I can get in there without blowing anything up. But what I want to do, like I said, is try and get some of this area secured. Like I need to check that little railcraft building there, see what's in these buildings here, see if I can find any other free stuff in here before I start venturing out too much. Because right now charcoal is at a little bit of a premium since I haven't had harvested that many trees yet. I need to kind of get a flat area and start growing my own trees. I may see if I can rip out that farm and do it there, since we've got one right here and there, and farms all over the place, so food shouldn't really be an issue. But I'm going to kind of see if I can get through this next night. I need to see if I can find 2 more sheep. Then I can make a bed, and this will speed up a little bit. So I'm going to this is going to be a lot of kind of skip forwards and skip arounds, so I can kind of get this going, because it's going to be a lot of waiting until I can get a bed in place. But I'm going to start kind of working on this area, and then I'll be back. Alright, so Project Illumination is making some progress. I've got a decent amount of torches basically just spammed all over the place. I'm not really using any type of I guess, logic when I put them down. It's just if there's a yellow area, I'm trying to cover as much of it as possible with the torches when I put them down. Like you can see, I missed a little spot right there. Some down there at that roof for some reason. I'm gonna have to put that up there. It looks like it's got some planks on it. I'll have to block off. I may just rip that whole tower down because I don't really need it since I've got this one here, and those guards are just horrible about blowing creepers up left and right. These explosions throughout the night. Alright, so I'm probably going to tear that down. I've almost got that area over there. What I'm probably going to do is I have fencing, so I'm probably going to bring a fence across down the opposite side of this path right there and just basically seal that area off for now. Probably bring it down, connect it to that house, bring it down here, run it in front of the well and around here, and that'll kind of seal that area off. This area right here is raised up, so I may extend this wall up, like, you know, mound the dirt up to make it a wall there, and then slice the dirt there down a little bit. Then I won't need fencing along that area right there. That'll kind of give me a marginal safe area in town once I get these remaining areas lit up. And then what I'm probably going to do, because on the map I've got this right here, and I think that's one of those Thalmcraft, the monument, or little area that's got like a wisp spawner in it, but it's got a chest on it, so it's probably going to have stuff in it. So I'm going to have to go south a bit, but I want it to be during the day before I do this, because we've got... Where's south? South is that way with my render distance down too low. You can't see it, but there's one of those massive redwoods right over there. So that's kind of going to be the plan. I also need to find more sheep, but as it stands right now, there's only one other sheep in town. So that's another reason I need to kind of range out a little bit and see if I can get 2 more pieces of wool. Unfortunately, I don't really have enough penned up in this area to start breeding them. Otherwise, I could do that. But that's kind of the plan as it stands right now, along with the progress. And then... I'll probably rip that down, yeah, and then south to the tree, fence that area off. Yep, so that's going to be our goals right now, and see if we can get those accomplished, and once I get some progress done, I will be back. Alright, it's time for us to venture south during the day and see if we can come up with some decent goodies on that side of town. And there's that tree. Yeah, I cut my render distance down when we were playing on the last map, and I just haven't brought it back up yet, and I was really hoping there'd be a door. Oh, is this a... Wow. Alright, that might prove useful. A little bit of a ravine going through there. I wonder how many villagers we've lost into that. Alright, there has to be a gate around here somewhere, you would think. It's probably buried under the ground, so we're just going to come back over here and punch a hole through. So we're going to go... This looks like a good spot. So we'll cut through right here, and then we're going to head for that tree, because I think that's where the little Thalmcrafty thing was. As long as we can do it during the day, we should survive, because that's creepy. Hopefully these will render in. Does give us kind of an idea of what's going on around here. Hello, sheep. Figures no wool. Wait, yeah, wool. Alright, good. Alright, so you can see it right up there. That's where we're going. See if we can... Oh, there's a node right there. That'll help Newt out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to scale the cliff, and once I get that treasure box or that chest open, I will be back. Shh, I found more sheep. Hopefully these are made of wool. Okay, so 1 black, 1 white, and I got another white one back at the base, or hovel, whatever you want to call it. So that should give us enough to make a bed, which is going to significantly speed things up. Because having to basically sit inside all night because 3/4 of that town is not lit up yet is kind of a pain. You can die too, just for the heck of it. Alright, so this is what we're after. Of course. Oh, ender pearls, those could be useful. Dark iron boots, those are good. And just so we remember we've been here, actually we're going to put it up there. There's a wisp spawner right under there. Now let's see what else we got. We got one more over there. And a meteorite. Let's see if we can... Hello. Oh, that's a bit of a drop. How about this way? This way will work. Oh, look, yellow flowers. That's actually the first yellow Botania flower I've seen. Grab those. With this one, we can make a day bloom, because I really do think that's going to be what we're going to push for once we're fairly secure, is getting some type of minimalist Botania setup going, so when we do start getting steel, we can make mana steel, with the goal of getting the Ring of Magnetism, the mana steel weapons, a tablet, things like that, so we can make it a little bit easier when we start, so we don't have to burn through weapons and things like that until we're fully set into Tinkers. Oh, that makes things a little bit easier. Iridium, that stuff's insanely rare, although I'll probably never get into Thaumcraft, because it makes me want to gouge, or not Thaumcraft, Industrial Craft, because it makes me want to gouge my eyes out. Any mod where every time I touch one of my machines and try to move it, I have a chance of destroying it, even if I use a wrench on it without using the high tier wrench, is not something I particularly find fun in. Since I tried doing that on the last server and ended up destroying the machines even when I opened them with a wrench, and I lost a decent amount of work. That kind of sucked. Ooh, I need to eat. Start with these. The sun's still up, so we're okay. Okay, we should be fairly okay until we get back to town. Unfortunately, we can't crack into that meteor right now, and even if we could, we don't have the resources to make anything from what we get out of it. Oh, I'm full of junk. There. Oh, coal, that's just as good. We'll get some of this. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back to town, get everything sorted out, and then move back on with getting that area of the town gated off. I'm going to check the times. I may end up cutting it here just to kind of end it so I can move on to getting the other sections going, and I have to, let's see what we're going to get rid of. Who needs celery? Just start. Wow, I feel slow. Alright, I'm going to head back to town, check the times like I was saying, and I will be back, and we'll see what we do from there. Alright, so we're doing fairly good on time right now. All those jump cuts are helping to keep things down a little bit. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we don't have to jump around quite so much, because there won't be as much just basic waiting. I did get a bed crafted, so hopefully that'll help. Collecting up the fence posts we need right now to get things going. Yeah, like that there. Let's get this sealed up since this goes into that cave right there. We've got a torch in here. A couple ways out for the dumb villagers when they get stuck. And now we're going to look at the fencing. So I was thinking about just running it right across to here. That's what I think I'll end up doing. Right now this is kind of the destroy the landscape phase. So I'm going to have to come back around later on and try and, I guess, restore some of this. I'm trying not to just do straight cuts in the landscape while I'm doing this, so there isn't as much work that needs to be done later. But we'll see. I'm not sure if this is going to remain where we end up building our base or how we're going to do it. But it doesn't hurt to not thoroughly destroy the area. So that should be flat enough for us. It's funny how you get used to moving really fast and then you're not, and it feels like you're going so slow. I finally got all my coordination and timing right for the speed boosts and all that stuff I had. Now I don't have it, and I keep walking into walls that I should be able to walk around very easily. What happens if we move? There we go. Right here. Let's see, can we put it right there? Will it still? No, it doesn't get those. Alright. Oh, good. Looks like we got it. Alright, so that area, we got the fence right there. Now we need to follow it along through here. Nope, did not want to cut that section out. chop some of this out here so we have some more material. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. I've been ripping up the fences on the little backyards for the villages to get what we need here, and I should probably make this dirt so the villagers won't walk right over it. Okay, that seals that area. Now we come over here. This is the pane section, so I'm going to have to rip some of this down. It shouldn't be that big a deal. We don't need to tear much of it down, we just need to make sure that anything out there can't walk over the fence. Shouldn't be that hard to do here. Give it a little bit of a stair step here so it doesn't look that terrible, hopefully. Plus it gives us more dirt to work with. Alright, so we're going to leave the fence there. There's an area I carved around it already. So now if we move... Yeah, I think we'll do that. Move this guy inside the line here. Come up to here. Get that torch back, do this. Now that area is sealed off. And then around here we've got a fairly steep run over to here, which we can raise up. We do have some torches. So we'll flatten this out a little bit. Cut this down. I think I'm just gonna rip this out. Or at least enough of it that there's no easy walk up there. We'll have our smelter on the other side, but I think I'm actually going to tear that down soon. Move it over to the other area for now. Eventually... Oh, luckily we have a spare shovel. Let's see where we're at right now. Okay, so... let's just do this. Otherwise we'll be here for a couple more shovels, I think. Alright, so we'll level this area off. I think that will secure it. Then I just need to go back and torch what we've got. I'll leave... Oops. That's an axe. Okay, so now we're going to come down here real quick. Since it's raining, things are going to start showing up. Grab this. It's going to be a little bit, I think, before we have enough iron for buckets. But if we get this and get it going, start looking for our grout components, which I thought was just sand and clay and another cave. This village seems to have chose a very poor location to build itself. It intersects at least 3 different cave systems plus a ravine, so not exactly the securest location. Then you take into account the fact the guards seem to like annoying creepers and then standing right next to them so they can explode. It makes for an interesting environment. Alright, I'm going to rip this down. I will get that area right there torched up, and then I'm going to pillar to the top of that tower and either rip it down or just get it torched up for the time being, and then I'll be back. Alright, so got a little bit more of the lighting done, some clearing. Put a door up here because I think for the time being, I think I'm going to put like a temporary Botania setup. I ripped down the smelter, or I finished ripping down the smelter. I put it right here for the time being. So what that'll do, and then along with that, turn this off so we can move around a little more freely. Come in here, and I'm going to put like the controller here, and like maybe the tank, and then 2 of the fountains and spigots there. But to do this, we're going to need a decent amount of grout. I want to say it's like 5 per spout, and then you've got to make the actual 2 drains. We need the tank, we need the controller. So we're going to need a decent amount of grout, and grout ends up being clay, gravel, and sand. So what I'm hoping here is if we go over here to our maybe I should get a shovel first. Need to make a tinker's table eventually. Shovel. Let's do that. Don't need much of it. I've already got some gravel and some sand, not much. But since we've got this little pond intersection over here and we've got more sand right here, use that. Must be a cave. Well, actually, yeah, there's a cave right here. I was going to say there's a cave directly under the base because I keep hearing spiders. Yeah, we're just going to leave him there. We're not going to tempt fate that much. Alright, do we have any clay in here? That looks like gravel. We've got sand. Probably more gravel. Yep, gravel. No, that probably would have been too easy. Because I wouldn't mind getting the get the smelter online, because that'll give us some fairly cheap ore doubling. We only have to get enough iron for a bucket and then bring some lava up. And then if we can get 17 more iron, we can make a drum and then start loading it with lava somewhere, and then we're pretty much set. We can just let it go once we get a transfer node or a fluid duct to pump stuff into it. But that may take us a little while. And I need to make a way for me to get back in here. At least some ladders around, I think. Otherwise I'm going to have to do this every single time I want back in. Alright. I think I'm going to have to start doing the strip mine thing. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave off on I need to strip mine up some materials. I'm going to need to find some clay. Basically just kind of get going, because I want to get this smeltery online so we can start doubling up the iron we find. Make things a little easier that way. But I think that's where we're going to end off. So I will talk to you in the next episode, and thank you for watching.